How spicy is today's deck list, one might ask. And to that I say, I didn't know what multiple of the cards in here did, so buckle up. Hello folks, Phil Gallagher, aka ThrabenU here for another Legacy video. Alan recently donated and gave me a bunch of Dealer's Choice donation deck lists. Alan, thank you very much for your support, it is very much appreciated. And I found something cool in a 5-0 league result. I found Nic Fit. This is not a deck that sees very much play anymore, but it is a beloved deck to the community. The general idea is that you have more basic lands in your deck than your opponent does. So you attempt to use Veteran Explorer asymmetrically, where you get the basic lands and you can take advantage of all of the mana that you are producing, but your opponent maybe has one, maybe two basic lands, and you have more top end than the average opponent. So we have a bunch of different ways to sacrifice Veteran Explorer. We can sacrifice it to Cabal Therapy. We can sacrifice it to Lazotep Quarry. Flare of Cultivation is very cute, as we can sacrifice a non-token green creature, that is, Veteran Explorer, to search our library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal them, and put one onto the battlefield tapped and the other into your hand. So this one on turn 1 can be Veteran Explorer, immediately Flare of Cultivation, 4 basic lands, and it is fucking go time. The deck can get away with playing things that are powerful but inefficient. Something I've talked about in recent videos is that energy goes wide of traditional 1-for-1 removal very, very well. Well, how do they feel about a Pernicious Deed? Probably not so great. Similarly, Painter plays Chaos Defiler, but not really with the intention of just hardcasting it as a 5-mana spell, but that's exactly what we are intending on doing here. The top end of this deck is a pile of cards that I'm not overly familiar with, and there's some neat stuff going on here. So for example, whenever you cast a spell, Earthbend 1, that is the thing that Badgermole Cub has, and we can do something like Earthbend our nurturing peatland, sacrifice it to draw a card, and then have it come back immediately, cast a new spell, and then turn this into another thing that draws a card immediately. So there's some neat top end here. We've got a full-on Emrakul in the deck. We've got a 6/6 from Fallout with Menace, Trample. When it enters or become monstrous, destroy target permanent. So we have some respectable removal on our fatties. And then we have this thing, which is a Wrath of God, followed by a Jester's Cap style effect that just extracts the thing you're most worried about. And then it turns into a Menace Firebending 5/5 that can reanimate things. Any graveyard? From that player's graveyard. Yeah, that can reanimate things in your opponent's graveyard. So buckle up, it's going to be a wild ride here. Notice that basically all 15 of the cards in this sideboard are dedicated towards combo. That's a statement about what we are hoping to play against today. We want the fair stuff. Folks, MagicCon Vegas is coming up. You should consider shopping at TOA. And I would tell you this even if this was not a sponsored plug, because TOA has awesome in-person HP and MP cards that are not necessarily going to be on their website online, and I love browsing that stuff. If you are online, use promo code ThrabenU to save a little bit on your order, but look for this purple banner at MagicCon Vegas if you're there. Also look for me. More on that shortly. With that being said, let's battle. Okay, I have 0 reps in with this deck. This seems like a reasonable pile of cards that maybe goes somewhere. This is not one of our faster hands by any stretch of the imagination. All right. My oof in the sideboard. My oof is in the sideboard. 8 of that for me. Yeah, because that's kind of what I expected to happen. All right. So my turn 2 is pretty damn sweet with that draw. Unfortunately, my turn 1 is nothing. The opponent will take some to their 1 ring, and we'll see how crazy this gets. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. So, obvious play is obvious. Just double checking, no collector oof. Yep, there is a veteran explorer. I will immediately Flare of Cultivation. Force of Will? That's a Force of Will. It didn't go after the veteran explorer though, which means I still get my basic lands. I want a green so I can cast Malevolent Rumble, and I have 0 access to red, so I should probably go green, red with this. Let's see if my opponent has a basic island. Oh, they have 2 basic islands. Oh, look at you. I don't want to Boseiju the Indestructible One Ring, so I think I am just rumbling malevolently. Is that a deed? That is a deed. I'll take a deed. And then I will pass the turn. Opponent can then use the 4 mana they now have to untap a Grim Monolith. It is a shame that I do not have Game 1 Collector Oof. Why am I not playing the One Ring? The One Ring's a stupid card. It might be too uncool for Nic Fit, unfortunately. So now my opponent is going to start doing coveted jewel loops, where they can copy this with stuff like Phyrexian Metamorph, which I think is what we are seeing there. And each time they're going to get 3 more cards and 3 more mana. And I'm probably dead. At some point, we're just going to hit Paradox Engine, and then it untaps the One Ring and Coveted Jewel. And we can decide how long we want to watch our opponent play with themselves. I think I am not into it today. I will concede here. Realistically, with 6 mana per spell and 4 cards a turn, they're not going to fizzle here. So, I'm going to board in at least 8 cards, and Mindbreak Trap is not crazy. So now I need to fish through this deck and figure out what on earth I'm removing. Grist seems mid. Emrakul is interesting. I don't know how relevant the Destroy All Creatures part is. That might actually be a downside. I think I'm going to get rid of the Emrakul. Get rid of Toph. This is still 64. This is still a lot of cards. Am I just getting rid of the Endurances? That leaves me only 1 Green Sunnable big dumb thing. I guess Green Sun is going for oof most of the time anyway. I'm going to say this is fine. I'm not sure on my thoughts about Mindbreak Trap versus, say, something like Assassin's Trophy. Okay. I think to some extent I just have to believe in the deck to find something reasonable to do with the mana that I am making as long as Veteran Explorer resolves. I don't need to resolve a spell to get rid of it, luckily. Lazotep Quarry is, pretty respectable here. Phyrexian Tower used to be that slot. We explore. No counterspell. Basic island and a cantrip. Top with that. More Veteran Explorer. Understood. I guess I attack for 1. Let's not miss the little things here. Sacrifice a Veteran Explorer. This does ramp my opponent as well. Let's do a red and a green. I will Malevolent Rumble. Yeah. There's a big silly thing to cast next turn. Then throw down a new Veteran Explorer, which I can sacrifice next turn for even more mana. Yeah, the monstrosity ability for this is just like absolutely on the table. The problem is that I catapulted my combo opponent ahead 2 lands, which isn't necessarily the best thing to be doing. Okay, stock up is fine. City, Grim Monolith, pass turn. All right, in for 1. Opponent to 18. I will sack this creature. Green. Holy shit, my opponent has a lot of basic islands. Attempt the Deathclaw. Straight up hard cast a Force of Will due to the extra 2 mana I gave them. So now my opponent's got 7 mana going into their turn. Surely this can't go wrong in any capacity. There is a Transmute Artifact or a Coveted Jewel. Now we'll see how bad the remainder of this turn is with like copy artifacts and metamorphs and whatnot. Can I just deed for X equals 6 on my turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can just deed for 6 and kill all of the coveted jewels that are there. So that's a thing. But it's a matter of, am I dead before that? And or does my opponent just have a force of will effect to protect? Copy artifact. I'm going to give you highlights from here. You've seen this happen before at this point. All right, we have gone through a few more cantrips and ultimately found another transmute artifact. So we've got Chain of Vapor on one of these, so my opponent can now float like 15 mana or some shit. Oh, they're going to go ahead and copy it. Sure. This is neat. So are you keeping the last one in play? No, they're doing it yet again. Okay. So this time it's the Grim Monolith. Opponent just straight up has enough mana for Emrakul here. What is this one on? Okay, that one is on the original Coveted Jewel. So my opponent can probably replay all of those, given the whole Paradox Engine thing that's going on. That is a neat line. I have seen traditional Storm decks do similar things by just bouncing a whole bunch of artifact mana to build Storm, but this is the first time that I've seen this deck do that. I'm going to assume that my opponent has got it from here and go ahead and concede. They've got plenty of mana, counting Paradox Engine, untapping, all of that stuff. That was really cool. GG. Today's video is sponsored by moxfield.com. If you're looking to store your decks online, you're not going to find a better website. It's super organized and easy to use, and I sort everything that I do into a ton of format-specific folders, and you can customize the way that you use Moxfield to your liking. Whether you like text views or visual views of multiple different natures, Moxfield has it all. And it's so easy to use, you might even say that it's a snap. Alrighty. Opening hand doesn't really do anything. I would keep something like this on a 6 that's questionable. Yikes. Oh god. What does this land even do? Enters tapped unless you control a basic land, and earth bends. Okay. I am going to 4 as Nic Fit. Thanks, I hate it. Deck. The hell. Keep. And I'm going to keep one of these two. I think Malevolent Rumble is better than this. Opponent says, are you oops all spells? No, I am not. But you look like Show and Tell, which I wouldn't know unless you played out that Lotus Petal. Therapy, baby. Get him. Right deck call. They did not have the payoff card yet. New Lotus Petal. There's a Misty. Opponent passes the turn. Here's a Veteran Explorer, which my opponent should really consider Force of Willing. It is a lot of value here. Float mana, fetch. Blue-green Show and Tell. Cunning Wish in response. For Surgical Extraction. Extracting Cabal Therapy. Well, now you get to know that I have a banger to put in off of a Force of Will. And now my Veteran Explorer does resolve. Should I tell them I am oops in chat now? Now that they've seen my deck? Seems like I should. Misty comes down. Well, we're here chilling after our Mulda 4. Life's bad. Chaos Defiler is absolutely sick, though, as a thing to put in off of a Show and Tell. Green Sun. Not currently all that great. I'm going to just 100% confirm that I don't have Dryad Arbor. I am very sure that I don't. I have confirmed. So we're chilling. Opponent has Hardcast Force of Will as a thing that they could do, giving up some Lotus Petals. And we're pretty far away from Emrakul. Just throwing it out there. Don't think there's like 12 different card types in Graveyard as of right now. Alright, here's what I'm bringing to class. It is Chaos Defiler. You have another fuck you! No! No! It's horseshit 6-drop here. Countering the working classes Chaos Defiler. Oh, that's so strong. Oh, he didn't die. Not being dead is so nice. However, I've got other problems. So I don't have the 2 mana to channel this on the Omniscience. How many of these are in my deck? There are 4. I could play one, cast a Malevolent Rumble, and attempt to find another. I think I just try to spike any land next turn and hope to dodge dying to Omniscience for a turn. Ooh. The working man's veteran explorer clocks in, doing its humble job of attacking for 1. We're building a narrative here, folks. Oh, Seiju! We can do it, YouTube. Together we can rise up and beat the show and tell player on a mulligan to 4. The greatest victory ever for Nic Fit. Hot damn. The average CMC of the cards in my hand is insane right now. Am I just getting another 1/1 to double my clock? How much do you cost? 12. Oh, it's my graveyard. That ain't great. Let's rumble. How rude. I mean, that makes sense, right? Opponent has to have something if they are not proactively playing any cantrip. Alright. So this just earthbends. Got it. In with Veteran Explorer. Opponent to 10. Do I have anything at 2? No, I don't have creatures at 2. I will just normally do this at 1 for another Veteran Explorer. I don't know that you would counter this. I don't know, opponent could think that I was about to get something that lets me junk Veteran Explorer. But from my perspective, that Green Sun was not strong. Still alive. Yeah? In for 1. Opponent to 9. 1, 2, 3 for deed. So I can deed for 1 to blow up Veteran Explorer and Lotus Petal. This is kind of funny on show and tell. Opponent is now thinking about something, and I am not sure what. Is there another Cunning Wish here? That's a land. I think I am doing this for 1. I don't know how many basics my opponent has without looking at current lists, but I think I close out this game faster by fetching. Okay, it is 4. Green Sun? Hello? Grist, Polukranos. Are we to Alpha Deathclaw? I've got it for 5, which probably means I want to do it for 4. Polukranos is just a 6 power creature. How much do you cost right now? 9. We're getting there. This is dazable right now. It's kind of devastating if it resolves. I think I'm into just using this and potentially just getting a spell out of my opponent's hand. Daze, floating 3 mana. For no reason. Understood. 4 card types in my graveyard now. Force of Will into graveyard from the opponent. Is Toph return a card or return an instant or sorcery? How does this read? Return an instant or sorcery. Okay. So let's do this for 4. Let's Toph, target Green Sun, discard the Flare. And now I will get value off of just casting random spells. There is a stock up, and opponent passes the turn here. Nope. Second main phase hipster. This is where I just want a haste creature. Let's start cooking. I will earthbend 1 here. Get a Veteran Explorer to play. Earthbend 1. Get a Veteran Explorer to play. Send in for 5. And have the option to draw some more cards if need be. So there is the show and tell. Here is my Chaos Defiler. Junk your Emrakul. Opponent fetches. Cast show and tell again. I will put in my Emrakul. Opponent Lorien Revealeds. Casts stock up. Casts Cunning Wish, which feels bad for me. Getting shared summons for Emrakul and Atraxa. Does this actually beat me? I'm not sure if this actually beats me. The follow-up Atraxa cards might. There's another Atraxa coming. Just gonna dismiss all this. So we go to the next turn. Maybe I should have just grabbed Polukranos and just whacked my opponent in the face. The Emrakul Annihilator happens. I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm about to replace these lands anyway. 5, 6. I will Veteran Explorer twice. Get 4 forests. Sweet. Get my lands back. So... Oh, fuck. I thought about this. I was supposed to sacrifice my Chaos Defiler to get rid of one of these. I actively thought about that and then didn't do it. Hopefully I can salvage that. I don't know. Maybe I want the Chaos Defiler so I can sack it on my turn. Fuck. Another extra turn. Okay, the other extra turn does do it. Even if I Chaos Defiler on the attack trigger to get rid of one of those, I am at exactly 7. Yeah, maybe I just win that one if I just don't try to get cute with the new card and just jam Polukranos. I also just win if I have a Questing Beast in my deck instead. GG. Into these. Mindbreak Trap is sus. I could consider playing it. This just doesn't feel super castable in a matchup that's this fast. The deeds don't feel very strong. Let's get rid of those. I could filter out a couple of endurances. Maybe filter out like 3 of those. Okay, I have Chaos Defiler. I'm willing to keep this one. So I have turn 2 Flare of Cultivation, which is fine by me. That was a very respectable game for a mulligan to 4. Like that was very, very much winnable. All right. Attempt Operation Veteran Explorer. Success. Sacrifice to Flare of Cultivation. Opponent brainstorms. They can now get a shuffle off of my Veteran Explorer trigger. I'll go black, green here. And then do this. We'll put the green one. We'll put the black one into play. All right, cool. And I still have 2 mana. I'm fine doing a Malevolent Rumble. This cast? No, this is enters. Kind of into Opposition Agent. I already have an ETB enters thing. So Opposition Agent is a different angle than what I'm currently working. All right, we are showing and telling. Here is my Chaos Defiler. That is a Cunning Wish, unfortunately. So there's the Sublime Epiphany again. All right. Am I dead? Multiple Omniscience. Does not make me feel good. There's a Lorien Revealed. That's the One Ring. Needle clearly pointing towards my opponent being victorious. But here we are. I'm gonna attempt Chaos Defiler first. This way, this is not dazable. All right. So now I can Assassin's Trophy one of them, which doesn't make a lot of sense anymore. I still might do it so that I have something to realistically work towards. Well, shit. Okay. So that was Show and Tell Omniscience with the Cunning Wish, Force of Will, and Veil of Summer backing it up. All right, there's the shared summons. We are out of here. The Opposition Agent does not come around quickly enough. That was a great match. I enjoyed that a lot. GG. On to the next one. All right, my opponent has kept a 6-card hand. I've got Cabal Therapy, Veteran Explorer stuff going on, so hopefully this is fine. A gamble. Junking a Brainstorm. Well, the bad news is my opponent is probably about to draw 7 cards. Yep. So there's Echo. So my opponent gets their draw 7 with 3 floating mana, which is very, very bad for me. And Endurance does not tend to line up favorably versus Storm, unfortunately. It's not that it can't do anything, it's that it just often does not do anything. Brainstorm is a good sign for me, though. There's a new LED. There's Beseech the Mirror. And we are already at Tendrils time, unfortunately. So I am dead before taking a game action. This is what the Mindbreak Traps are for. GG. This is 15 cards in. Straight up 15 cards in. Loop. A loop. A loop. All right. You can probably go. You can probably go. You can probably go. I don't think I'm going to treat this as the second mode. I think I'm just going to get rid of that. I'll probably get rid of this. I will need 5 more cuts. Let's sort this hot mess. Let's assume that I can get rid of this. Let's get Mindbreak Trap back, baby. That's not crazy. From here, it's starting to get a little harder to make cuts. Like, maybe I can go down 2 of those. Maybe I cap out at getting Endurance. Maybe I trim a Malevolent Rumble. Something in this general ballpark. This is medium. I think I am willing to keep it. Sometimes it goes wrong. I think I'm going after Lion's Eye Diamond with the initial Cabal Therapy because LED Echo is so strong and I'm not currently disrupting that. ThrabenU. Lion's Eye Diamond. It. And now I have some information for Disruptor Flute purposes, although I don't know that I'm going to actually name any of those cards that are there. Alright, you're just gonna play those out immediately. Sure. Endurance is mid. Yeah. Is my opponent's situation bad enough that I feel safe casting Malevolent Rumble? Not really. I'll let my opponent fetch at end of turn, and they can do their whole brainstorm thing. I think I don't Disruptor Flute immediately. I think I can wait. And then when something goes on the stack, I can make a more informed decision. I think I don't need to yet. This does turn on Mox Opal. That is fine. This spot is now a little odd, right? Now I think I'm doing this. And I think I'm still naming Echo. And you can gamble. Gaia's Will goes bye-bye. Oh, yeah. Bam. And bam. We are not using Cabal Therapy via Collector Oof. Thank you very much. Alright, that's enough for the concession. Now, hopefully for this next game, we can just open up on a Leyline or Mindbreak Trap to help us out significantly. Am I a crazy person to keep Chaos Defilers as top end here? They blow up artifact mana. Is that better than, say, Assassin's Trophy? I'm not really excited to be playing Assassin's Trophy. Maybe let's do this, because Rumble can help dig for Collector Oof. I'll take it. It's not a great hand. I need to rip a land in my first 2 draws, but Mindbreak Trap is Mindbreak Trap, and we technically have Endurance as interaction as well. Sure. So good with that. Spell number 1. Spell number 2. Passing the turn. I need another land to be able to cast that card. This is where not having a Dryad Arbor is a little sad. That is what it is. Opponent keeps their card. Spell 1. Like opponent is just passing. Well, that's almost what I wanted. That is the land, but it enters tapped. Hopefully I just get another natural land and can play Opposition Agent. That would be big game. Nice. We are playing Nic Fit Flash, baby. First spell. Second spell. Third spell. Mindbreak Trap is live at any point. Yep. Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual. Beseech the Mirror. 0 cards in hand. Hello, Opposition Agent. We have gotten the ouch. I'll take Tendrils. Opponent says, didn't expect that. Oh shit, does that cast that? If I find it? Neat. I did not know that. We're doing this anyway. And we'll trap all of it. And now we have gotten rid of the Tendrils. Looks like a big brain play. In with Opposition Agent. Now, we will Endurance. Send in for 6. I'll just pass and play another 3-power creature. Play the other Opposition Agent, actually. In for 9. Opponent to 1. And Dark Ritual. Gamble. And then I get to look at the card. Alright, I'm going to reread Opposition Agent real quick. So, while an opponent is searching their library, they exile each card they find. You may play those cards for as long as they remain exiled. Oh, I can't see Beseech anymore. Hold up. So, Beseech apparently is still tracking that because it is looking for the card in exile and it doesn't care which thing exiled it. Ah, neat. That is not how I would have imagined that worked. GG. Cool interaction. I'm not sure how I feel about a triple Boseiju double Malevolent Rumble hand. I'm just not gonna find out. I probably keep this. I don't feel overly great about it or anything, but I probably keep this. I'm going to throw back Deed or Chaos Defiler. Let's go Chaos Defiler so Deed can kill a Veteran Explorer if necessary. Wasteland is annoying here, but I have a lot of land in my deck, so hopefully that's fine. Exhibit A. Polluted Delta comes down. Ooh. I kind of want a touch more information before I cast this. I might just Malevolent Rumble this turn. I have multiple of those. I don't super care if that gets dazed. And then I can start trying to figure out what I am doing with the Cabal Therapy. Daze, sure. Another totally valid line I could do there is just Cabal Therapy this turn and take some counterspell like Daze or Force of Will in an attempt to resolve this the following turn. So, Therapy target you. Brainstorm and Force of Will are the two things that I am thinking about here. I really would like my Green Sun to resolve. So let's do Force of Will. So now I will Green Sun for 1. Getting a Veteran Explorer. And realistically taking a Drown in the Lock out of my opponent's hand. So yeah, do one of each of these. And now my opponent will get mana, so they should use that to cast Drown in the Lock rather than lose both Barrowglyphs. Okay, so they have exactly 2 basics. That's very good. That means Murktide Regent is maybe slightly less scary. They do have a Bloodstained Mire, though. Okay, they're going to let me have both. We are just going to take both Barrowglyphs here. And you may trade Drown in the Lock for Malevolent Rumble if you would like. All right, we trade these. So this leaves my opponent with a Murktide Regent, which I can probably outvalue, and an Orcish Bowmasters that I simply do not care about. All right. Now I just need to hit any big payoff card over the next few turns. That's not really the best. Not willing to cycle this land yet, I don't think, because it takes me off of casting Chaos Defiler. I can take a few hits from Murktide Regent. I just need my deck to not fail me. Notably, 2 lands in a row is probably okay. That's kind of like 2 lands in a row. So I will Flare, and this is just going to lead to 7 mana. That onto the battlefield. This to play. You destroy enchantments as well, right? You do. So I don't want to play out the second Pernicious Deed immediately. Would you like a few points of damage out of Orcish Bowmasters? The answer is no. 6 more off Murktide Regent. Not a big deal. Green Sun is cool. I will just deed away the Murktide Regent, though. Deed. Does cost me 1 life, notably. Land comes down. Tamiyo comes down. A Veteran Explorer. Polukranos? So do I have mana to fight immediately, I guess is the question. I go 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I am 1 short of fighting immediately. Endurance is reasonable. Let's just do that. Do a Green Sun for 3. Oh, Grist is interesting as well. But I didn't play this in the way that I would want to if I was doing Grist. Alright, that's maybe on me. So now I hold the ground versus Tamiyo. And if Orcish Bowmasters goes on the stack, I can maybe think about cycling Nurturing Peatland. I don't really want to use it as a land any longer because I am at 5 life. So untapped land. Fatal Push. Hate that. I think I will go ahead and cycle this now. That's a land. Are you pinging Veteran Explorer? Nope. Go into face. Sure. Kaito seems problematic now. I guess Kaito was already problematic, though. Dismiss this. Everybody come into party. Crack Clue. Trade with Bowmasters. Go to 3. Do I still have 2? Yeah. I have a lot of these. All right. Very nice. Yeah. 1, 2, 3 for Deed. I played a land. Whoops. The idea was to put this in play and then cycle this land immediately. And I did not do that. Sure. So that I have this in play so Orcish Bowmasters doesn't punish me drawing. I think I will let my opponent untap and then just deed for 1. Get that Tamiyo out of here. I don't think I am willing to let them have the clue. Surveil land? New Tamiyo. Alright. What if another deed, though? Oh, shit. How much do you cost? 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, we're there. We are there. Alright. I will gain control of my opponent during their next turn, and we'll see what crimes I can do. I would like to kill their Barrogoyf. Like, finding a fatal push for their own Barrogoyf would be real cool. Kaito? I can Kaito and stun their Barrogoyf. That's not bad. So I think I'm going to go ahead and attack with their Tamiyo into my Emrakul. They can have a clue. Looking through this is very strange. I will kill their Tamiyo. I think I will draw the card with the clue to see if I can do some more damage to them. A Brazen Borrower. So I can Brazen Borrower their Barrogoyf back to their hand. Oh, wait, no. Petty Theft. Hold on. Okay. No. Oh my god, I can't cast Petty Theft. What a devastating bug. Wow, that's so bad. Yeah, I think that bug loses me this game. Brazen Borrower cast. There are no other options. Yep, that bug will lose me this game. Okay. So now I'm going to have to chump block Emrakul on Barrogoyf. No, my opponent can just cast Petty Theft on Emrakul. Or no, protection from instance. They can just Kaito stun. That is disappointing. I don't know if we win, if I can Petty Theft. So Malevolent Rumble looks at Grist the following turn. I Grist something away. I'm not swinging for lethal. I can cycle Nurturing Peatland as well. All right. I could Leyline, it's medium. I could Opposition Agent, it's medium. I don't think I want Disruptor Flute. I think, unless I board Opposition Agent, I am probably just running things back. Let's just run it back. Believe in ye old Nic Fit deck. Opening hand doesn't do anything, which feels problematic. Second hand is totally fine as long as I don't eat Force of Will. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, kind of 7, assuming that everything works. It might just be perfectly reasonable to keep this card in my hand. This is easier to cast around days and can come back from the graveyard, though. I think I'm going to err on the side of keeping extra mana, just knowing that something could go wrong in the first turn. So, for example, if this Veteran Explorer gets countered, I need these lands to get to Flare of Cultivation to get to my endgame and fix for red. Yeah, there we go. So now I am happy that I have the 4-drop in my hand rather than the 6-drop. So we will be sad that our cool card didn't resolve, but ultimately be alright. I expect we are seeing an end of turn Surveil land. Underground Sea. Douthie Voidwalker. Sure. That is reasonable, but we're past the point where I care about that. Let's attempt to color fix here. I will get a mountain and a swamp. The mountain in play now. Actually, I guess I still care about the Douthie for Polukranos Escape. Not doing nothing. Hopefully I can just play Polukranos and fight Douthie Voidwalker. And everything else. My 12 heads. I'll be down to 17. Well, you're gonna hang out in my hand for a while. We will be best friends. Just chilling. Polukranos. And this is around days, as will be the Chaos Defiler that I play next turn. Alright, we are in play. So, Fatal Push is a thing. Surveilling. Saying no to Surgical. That's Fatal Push. So my opponent could get their very own Polukranos for the low price of 0 mana. We'll see how they feel about that. They don't like it. Fair. Oh wait, I'm an idiot. I figured out Brazen Borrower. I'm controlling my opponent. I'm not casting it. That wasn't a bug. That was just a very weird situation. Okay, understood. So, yeah. And I just had 0 permanents, I guess, so I couldn't even see Petty Theft as an option. Alright. I assume that I just have to get rid of the Murktide Regent that kills me more quickly here. Even though the Douthie is annoying. And I don't care about this Veteran Explorer. I will just play this dazably. Like, this is not doing anything while Douthie is around. Douthie punches me again. Not that big of a deal. I can punch back harder. Ooh, that's good. I think I am just interested in doing this now. Seeing if my opponent counters. Nope. I am into Grist. Grist minus. Draw a card in response. Nice. So they will ping my Veteran Explorer. Oh, there's no graveyard. Awkward. Also means I won't get my dies trigger. I think I'm still gonna do this. I think there are just starting to be too many things that are scary in my exile zone. Like the Polukranos is a little spooky, and I think I just outvalue my opponent with my average draw versus their average draw at this point of the game. I'm immune to Wasteland. I've got Endurance. I will simply pass here. They can attack in with Bowmasters. I will Endurance one of their creatures away. Yeah. Goodbye, Graveyard. Sheoldred's Edict is fine. I think I'll take 2. I think I want to have Assassin's Trophy around for something that is scarier. Yeah. There's a Deed. Pass turn. I probably just take the trade here and preserve my life points. No follow-up card. How much are you? 10. Not reasonable. I think Force of Will is likely to be in my opponent's hand. I don't know that I need to check right now. Like, I can give them more draws to find Force of Will, and then play this out right before I play some green card. Okay. How much mana are you? So I can go 2 and make an Endurance. Make a Grist? Hell yeah. Does sacrifice this, which I am good with. This is not a spell. I don't have to worry about it being countered. Grist will plus. And now I have more fodder for Cabal Therapy if that becomes relevant. And we can start maybe working towards this Emrakul being castable. What do you got? Brainstorm? Bowmaster? Nada. Opponent simply passes the turn. You're still infinity mana. Do I just put this in play? This doesn't blow up my Planeswalker. I think I just put this in play. I don't know. I kind of think that my opponent has Force of Will. All right. Cabal Therapy target you. Force of Will. I am correct. Drown in the Lock is the other card. Understood. Grist plus. Yeah. I can take that Drown in the Lock later. I don't think I need to take action on it right now. Underground Sea hits play. Draws are quite respectable here. Opponent can take some damage. Now I'll therapy you. My opponent can cast this Drown in the Lock in response if they would like. Yeah, so they're just going to counter that so that I don't see the last card in their hand, which is reasonable. I will continue to Grist plus. 4 card types in graveyard. We are still not to Emrakul. I will simply pass the turn, and I will upkeep, cast Endurance. Oh, I guess I didn't leave up Assassin's Trophy. Small mistake on my end. All right. Lengthy game 2. GG. I don't think this card should be in the deck. It's too hard to cast even after you have ramped stuff out. No changes. The Emrakul glued to my opening 7s. Hello, friend. Welcome back. My opening hand is pretty weird. I have double Bow Seiju, which I don't like. I do like Endurance. I do like Assassin's Trophy. Maybe I just keep it. I do think it is a middling hand. But, like, maybe I can bait a Wasteland on one of these. Sure. Take my Emrakul Coward. It was so good last game, you don't even know. I have lost Veteran Explorer, and now my opponent knows that I have 2 copies of Boseiju. Ah, what a tilt. What a tilt. I will be passing the turn here. Bloodstained Mire comes down. Tamiyo comes down. Hate that. Grist is okay. I'm going to do this and pass, and if my opponent fetches, I'm going to Assassin's Trophy Tamiyo in response. And hope that I don't get dazed. Alright, cool. Fails to find a basic land. Opponents just got him in hand. That's very nice for me, actually, given how weak my hand is overall. Saying no to Force of Will. Murktide? And I was just thinking about getting cute by, like, pitch casting Endurance and sacking it to Flare of Cultivation. But I think Grist is too valuable to do that with. Yeah. Yeah. Keep the untapped one. I think this is 0 cuteness, just fix my mana, or attempt to. Cool. So I want the red since I don't have it, and I'll take another green. Put 1 into play, 1 to hand. I've made my land drop for turn, and then we hope to use a Grist to take out a Murktide Regent in a couple of turns. The difference between it being a 5/5 and a 6/6 here is massive. Goyf is a Goyf, 4/5 Goyf. This is damage prevention, right? Yes. In? Get in there. All right, excellent. And this is also big enough to fight the Murktide Regent. Edict. Edict is rough. I will take 9 here. And it seems pretty easy to answer one of these things, but not both. The Big Goyf. Tamiyo for insult to injury. Brainstorm. So I can nuke my opponent's graveyard, block one of the 2 creatures, and die to the other. I have 4 card types in graveyard, so Goyf is still lethal sized. I need another card off of the top. That's so close to perfect. I need 1 mana. Like, this win is the difference between Boseiju being a legendary land and not, right? Like, I play this, nuke Murktide, be able to chump Barrow Goyf, and then use multiple Endurances and Grists to win the game. Redraw in case there's something I'm not thinking of. Veteran Explorer does not do it with the mana I currently have access to. GG. Very, very close one there. How are we doing overall? Alright. Maybe we can get some play points back. Alright, my mana in this opening hand is quite awkward. I have Cabal Therapy. I cannot cast it, which means that I also can't cast this. I don't have something like a Mana Dork to fetch here, so I can't necessarily bridge to Endurance. I think I will just mulligan this one and try to find better mana. Alright. Alright. What did I do to deserve this? I will probably literally deal like 10 points of damage to myself. My spells are so expensive. No. Wow. Cool. Cool. Emrakul, get the fuck out. Cabal Therapy. I guess I have a different way to blow up a Veteran Explorer. I am incredibly unhappy. Basic Plains, Aether Vial. I can scoop that up with a deed, maybe. I will pass the turn. I suspect that I am not going to be going quickly enough here to get ahead of my opponent's nonsense. I also don't have the black mana guaranteed for deed. Convenient. Bam. I'm not going to Boseiju in Aether Vial. They can have it. I will get it later for value. That is a Felia. Vial to 2. Another land. Well, the good news is I have basic lands, and that's actually actively helpful. I should have floated a mana there, but I was F6'd. If I floated a mana, I could cast Endurance. Or no, this one enters tapped. JK. 18. And then that can come back. I will play a deed. There are things that can blow this up, like Witch Enchanter, so this is not guaranteed. But a 3-for-1 could be a good way to pull me back from a double mulligan. But, you know, Caracas Felia, Vial on 2 is also a thing. Vial does go up to 3, though. 4th land drop. I will get hit for 5. Opponent blinks. No, I get hit for 3. They blink their creature out. You're gonna blow up my land, sure. I will take another forest. I think I will lay this out and blow up the world in their upkeep with this Vile trigger on the stack. We'll also do this for 3 to blow up anything that they would put in. Yep, this is fine. I get 2 permanents and take Aphelia out of play and remove some counters from it. This is fine. Free War Formalware. Sure. You can blow up my lands. I have so many effing basics in this deck. You have no idea how many basics we can fit in this bad boy. Ah. Big dumb card. Hello, big dumb card. 4/4? 4/4. Hello, Pernicious Deed. I will eat 4 damage. And opponent will just stare at me. Cabal Therapy is neat here. I will cast that. Would you like to cast Aphelia in response? I'm getting that dog. One way or another. Hello, Aphelia. Hit. So let's ignore Yorion. Aphelia is gone. Alright, I will pass here. And I can deed away this stuff as a starting point. And then my opponent can play out another White Orchid Phantom or whatever. Land drop, so we still know the exact contents of my opponent's hand. Alright, they're just going to hold open Solitude. Sure. Then I will hold open Endurance. Yep, not a problem. I maybe just Assassin's Trophy this. Because there's lines where I can end up Cabal Therapying away that swords and keeping my Endurance. Yeah, I will buy that. There is Yorion to hand. Okay. We know exact contents of hand. There is the Wisp. Linking the Wasteland. That's fine. I need more mana. I have such a strong Haymaker. And I specifically need another black mana. How much do you cost? 9. We are not fucking there, folks. Not even close. Pass turn. I could have thought longer about casting Endurance. The problem with casting Endurance to try to use it for Cabal Therapy is that the trigger happens, and then I just eat swords in response anyway. I will take 3 here. Now there's really annoying Yori and Caracas stuff going on. I wish you were a castable card. So Flickerwisp comes back. We'll see if Flickerwisp just flickers Yorion. Flickerwisp is gonna take out my swamp. Alright, not castable, not castable. Certainly not castable. I eat 7 damage here. Take 7, go to 4. Opponent could Caracas bounce, recast, flicker out my swamp again. And I would probably die to that. Land drop. White Orchid Phantom. I get even more value if I do hit the black source randomly. Come on. Nope. You don't have reach or anything. So even if I return a removal spell to hand, I am still dead in the air. Even if I cast this and kill one of these, I'm still dead in the air. Alright, we came up a little short there. GG. I'm into Opposition Agent. Collector Oof is mid. Disruptor Flute is mid. I just want to cast my spells, and that simply did not happen that game. I might go down some legendary creatures that are bad versus Caracas for a couple of these, and I'm not a believer. Get the fuck out of my deck, Emrakul. We have tried. We have tried. Maybe I still need Polukranos, because it is removal. My opponent is just like a 4x Caracas deck, and if I want to keep my legends, I probably need to think about Disruptor Flute, which I don't super want to think about. Mediocre opening hand. I don't know that it's a mulligan, but I'm unhappy. That might just be because I'm playing Nic Fit and I don't think the list is good. It is Mother of Runes. Sure, I will sweep that up with a deed. That is not a problem. So let's just rumble here. Wow, only 1 hit. I do send a Cabal Therapy to the yard for what it's worth. I'm not going to fire that off. I think this, as mana, is more valuable because I have a Pernicious Deed that I'm going to be playing out. So being able to do it for a minimum of 1 immediately under some weird circumstances might be nice. Alright, this time targeting their own land as ramp, and a surveil land comes out. No attack with Mom. Is there any world where I play Grist? And just Grist plus and let my opponent hit me in my Grist face for some damage before playing Deed? I don't hate it. Yeah, I don't hate trying to start this sub-game here. Chaos Defiler to Yard. I don't actually want to mill those. I want to draw those. A Skyclave. Sure. That's something else that I can deed away. I will take some damage in the air. Wasteland. Sure. I'll drop a land. I'm fine playing the deed here. At a minimum, I can take out Mom. But it looks like I'm probably going to get 3 permanents out of it. And then get a token back. Alright, because I am intending on deeding, I'm just going to save 2 points of life here. Go to 16. You have the Witch Enchanter. They do have the Witch Enchanter. So I will trade Deed for Mom, which is still something. And then we maybe start going into fair mode of cast things like Endurance and hope to blow up my opponent. I think the Swords to Plowshares is something that could likely be in my opponent's hand, though. And I don't have fodder right now to sack to Therapy to check. Alright, Conservative Attack. There's Endurance. Nuke your Yard because pre-war formalware exists. I am fine gaining the life off of that rather than sacrificing it. I will take some damage. Recruiter of the Guard. Going for Flicker Wisp. Now, that's actually quite annoying. I've got a Green Sun for 3, which is Endurance. Unexciting. What about Green Sun for 1? Use it to trade with Flicker Wisp, get more lands. I actually don't hate that. Cabal Therapy, target you, sack this Veteran Explorer, say yes, get a green and a red, then name the Flicker Wisp that I know about. There's a Stoneforge as well. And now I can try to Assassin's Trophy Skyclave and take out 2 creatures at the same time by getting this 3-drop back. Alright, fantastic. So, 1 and 2 take you out. I get this 3/3. I use this 3/3 to block and kill a creature. I'm going to choose Witch Enchanter because it doesn't come back to Stoneforge getting... who's he, what's it? Alright, a Gonjo, sure. Great War Formalware. That was the rest of that thought. It is Yorion to hand. Alright, deck. Big dumb bullshit, please. No. Redraw. But now I don't have black for the board wipe thingy. I hate that. Okay. That was a very, very bad turn. I take a fair amount of combat damage here. Stoneforge occurs. There's still mana to Yorion. There's pre-war formalware. There's Yorion. Kaldra is a big problem if this gets blinked. I guess this can also just find a new Stoneforge. Both of these are disasters. I'm going to go Recruiter. Opponent still does have basic planes in their deck, obviously. So now they get 1 more Stoneforge target, and they can in their deck of another land. Yeah, there's Kaldra. Opposition Agent, you are a little late. I think I'm going to go ahead and call it there. I think my opponent has got this one. And it is not a great day for the Nic Fit deck. GG. Alright, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Overall thoughts on the deck list. I wish it was less spicy. I feel like the core of the deck was fine, but the flex slots were bad. Like, I very much like having this pile of Chaos Defilers and more other slightly different Chaos Defiler that is Green Sun Zenithable. I am down with that. However, I found Polukranos lacking. I never activated the monstrous ability on either one of these creatures. I think I just wish that I had maybe a questing beast where Polukranos was, and just any other Magic the Gathering card where Emrakul the Promised End was. this is just not a realistic card in this deck, even with Malevolent Rumble and the amount of mana that you produce. I just want this to be, something that is maybe 4 to 5 mana that is green sunnable. I actively was wanting this card in a few cases. I'm not gonna poo-poo this one. So I don't know that I like Toph. I understand the potential that is there with like Nurturing Peatland, or Lazotep Quarry was something I didn't say in the deck tech, but that is there as well. Like, I understand that the potential that this offers. I think I just want things that have a more immediate impact on the game. So if I played this again, let's drag some things around here. I want like Questing Beast, another Chaos Defiler, some other reasonable green sunnable card. I don't think it's game one collector oof, but go into your Nic Fit box of toys and find something else reasonable to green sun. I think maybe something that isn't a legendary creature. And as soon as you take Toph out of the deck, you can get rid of this pile of Nurturing Peatlands that costs you a bunch of life. I'm down with keeping the Quarry, though. I like that a lot. Sideboard tools were totally fine. It may also be that you could just straight up play a Damnation and have it be a reasonable card, rather than the 6 mana version that has a bunch of potential value to it. Like, that's absolutely not crazy. It's also possible that you could want to play some faster removal here, like a Fatal Push or 2, or a Snuff Out or 2. I don't think that would be crazy. I'm very glad that I tried this deck. I think there's a bunch of neat things here, but it didn't work out. You're always battling uphill when you're trying to play something cute and fun like Nic Fit. No regrets. This was a good way to spend an afternoon, and I hope you all have a great rest of the day. See ya!